You're watching Times XP and I'm Dhruti. In a major announcement in Houston, Texas Governor Greg Abbott revealed that violent criminals, including member of notorious Venezuelan prison gang Tren De Aragua, are crossing into the United States illegally and are being released without any proper background check. Now, this revelation has raised serious concern about the security of American citizens and effectiveness of the U.S. border policies. For many years, the U.S. Border Patrol has been the country's first line of defense in stopping the illegal immigration. However, under current federal policies, they are now facing significant challenges. Border Patrol officials that are frustrated by the situation has pointed out that they have no reliable way of vetting the individuals crossing the border, specifically those from countries like Venezuela. Without access to criminal database from these countries, agents are left to rely on honor system, asking migrants for their name and background without any means to verify their claims. Now, Governor Abbott emphasized that Texas is cracking down on violent criminals who have illegally entered the country. Specifically, here again, we are talking about Tren De Aragua, a ruthless gang that has spread its influence across Venezuela and now the United States. Texas, he stated, will not allow this gang to establish a base of operation in the state and terrorize local communities. Now, this situation stemmed from Venezuela's internal decision as well. Venezuelan government, according to the reports, has released prisoners with the understanding that they are free to leave the country as long as they do not return. Now, many of these individuals are now crossing the United States-Mexico border. Without cooperation from Venezuelan government, it's nearly impossible to track these criminal histories. Under the Trump administration, stronger policies were in place to deport these individuals. However, under the current administration, Venezuela refuses to accept deportees, leaving the United States with little choice but to release many migrants into the country. Now, the consequences of this are already being felt. Law enforcement officials have reported a significant increase in violent crimes that are linked to the Venezuelan migrants across various states, from Texas to Michigan and Florida. Now, these individuals are slipping through the cracks of the broken system, causing violence to spread far beyond the border region. Now, one of the primary concerns that is raised by Border Patrol agents is that while the problem associates at the border, the effects are being felt all over the country, with cities like Houston becoming hotspot for criminal activities. Now, let me tell you, since 2021, the number of Venezuelan nationals illegally crossing the United States border has reached nearly 856,000. That's the highest in the United States history. Now, in addition to that, 115,000 Venezuelans have been granted parole through government's program, which has been directly linked to an uptick in the violent crimes. Now, as part of its ongoing effort, Texas law enforcement has already arrested over 3,000 Venezuelan nationals who crossed the border illegally. Now, out of these, more than 200 are still unknown to be wanted for the violent crimes. While Biden administration claims that all individuals crossing the border are being properly vetted, frontline agents and officials have strong disagree, stating that current processes are actually inefficient. With Venezuela refusing to share criminal records and no proper database to track these migrants, agents are left to input whether the information that they can gather often rely on the fingerprints or biometric data when possible. But with many migrants carrying no ID or fake identification, these methods are far from foolproof. As a result, thousands of individuals are being released in the US with little more than their word as proof of who they really are. The situation at the border has rapidly evolved into a national security issue. Meanwhile, Texas officials have stressed the need for a more robust system to handle the influx of migrants and to prevent the violent criminals from spreading further into the country. Now, they argue that the current administration open border policy have essentially invited criminal elements in the United States with no serious consequences for those who enter illegally. Now, in the face of rising influence and increasing pressure, Governor Abbott administration has vowed to take matters into their own hands by continuing to target and arrest dangerous criminals who cross into the Texas. Additionally, the state is working on creating its own criminal database to track members of the gang and other individuals who pose a threat to public safety. Now, this effort aimed to fill the gap that is left by federal government's inability to access criminal information from Venezuela. As border crossing surge and violent crime spreads, many are now questioning whether the US government is doing enough to protect its citizens. The scale of the problem is unprecedented, and unless stronger measures are taken, the criminal element entering through the southern border could become even greater threat to communities across the nation. For more such videos, do follow TimesXP.